Cardano holders are quite bothered about Charles Hoskinson's consistent fortune telling. Grand promises on the left, but an amateur's hourglass on the right. And this is a common complaint most of them have been making. Hoskinson is back with another story of how Cardano will go 25x this same year. So far this year has been tough for the crypto market, but Cardano's Hoskinson remains resolute. Will Cardano go 25x? It is not fully recovered from the crypto bloodbath, and some of its acclaimed projects are still underway. Judging a book from its cover is not ideal, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Be sure to watch to the end to satisfy your curiosity. Cardano has a history, but not as outrageous as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's history is largely one of astronomical growth, punctuated by a few severe price reductions. From humble beginnings in 2008 to its 2021 price peak, Bitcoin has taken investors in the entire crypto space for quite the ride. In just over a decade, the first cryptocurrency spiked and crashed and rallied and fell off again over and over on its way to a price in the tens of thousands. As an emerging asset class, Bitcoin carries a great deal of speculation, with the basis for its value widely debated. Bitcoin's price remained under $2 for the first few years of its growth. It hit its first bubble in June of 2011, rocketing to around $31 before sinking down to the single-digit range. Then it ranged to a maximum price of $68,990 in November of 2021, but it wasn't a steady ride. However, Bitcoin plummeted below $23,000 on Monday, hitting its lowest level since December 2020, as investors dumped crypto amid a broader sell-off in risk assets. A giant in the cryptocurrency space has fallen. Does a dwarf like Cardano stand a chance? It should be noted that Cardano's culture of overpromising and underdelivering speaks volumes for its price action. In September of 2021, the ADA's valuation seemed completely different from its fundamentals. Even though the coin has achieved an all-time high, the project was still in its infancy. Despite the Cardano market dominating the growth story, the token has failed to live up to expectations of its investors. Cardano's NFT projects have failed to aid its price action. As documented, 4.7 million native tokens that have been issued on the Cardano network and 937 projects are being built, but none of these have helped. Following the ripple effect of the UST crash, ADA dropped to a low of 39 cents, a price level last seen in February of 2021. As a result, the coin saw one of the biggest capitulation events ever. At that moment, the indicators did not support any bullish thesis. The RSI stood at 36.58, not showing any trend reversal. Furthermore, the price appeared to be at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, while the width of the bands looked ready for further volatility. The hope of a bull run could only relieve a fool's mind. However, the early days of this month greeted investors with renewed hope in Cardano. This is mostly due to the anticipation of the forthcoming fork, Vassal Hard Fork, and Charles Hoskinson's resilient claims about massive improvements that would take place soon. Charles Hoskinson said in a video that big corrections are a routine part of the crypto industry, and mass hysteria was built around the most recent market crash. Hoskinson began the video by offering reality checks on the market conditions and their effects on the global monetary system, stating that the world economy is not healthy. According to Hoskinson, experienced investors are not bothered by a sharp drop in the market, as they have witnessed such corrections in the past. Unfortunately, the new investors are under a panic attack due to this chaos. The truth? Well, crypto volatility isn't over yet. The optimistic founder of Cardano explained the reasons why the large-scale correction methodology is blown out of proportion by referring to Bitcoin's price history. I've been in this space for almost a decade, and I remember Bitcoin before it was $1, and then it went up to $30, and then it went down to $4, then to $250, then to $20,000, then to $4,000, then to $64,000. No matter where I go and what I do, I'm always amazed that there is this constant attitude rhyme. So, the old guard, nothing gets us out of this phase anymore. We've seen everything twice to ensure we don't miss anything. Also, he mentioned that Cardano is growing and has its growth fund in response to Guillemin's tweet announcing that ADA's $723 million treasury is decentralized. Guillemin stated that Cardano's massive treasury is an indication to build projects like his on the blockchain network smoothly. One of such projects, a Rhythmic stablecoin, is JED, launched in May. Cardano has shown some crucial improvements in recent months as more projects are built on top of it. Guillemin's tweet is proof that the treasury can be behind the financing of these projects. The recent tweet from Cardano's parent company, IOHK, clarified that about 900 projects are being built on the network. I mean, that's huge, especially for a project that may have been criticized for being too slow. Hoskinson believes that the number of large transactions on the blockchain will increase more than 25 times by the end of the year. In February 2022, GoBankingRanks.com tagged Cardano as one of the notable firms to watch for the year. The platform's unique process and cutting-edge technology have caught the attention of tech experts and investors. The advanced capabilities of smart contracts on the platform could drive the ADA's price higher this year. As the blockchain gets faster and more efficient, its real value to users and ADA value will rise. Of course, it has been established that cryptocurrency is a highly volatile and risky investment at any price. But on the bright side, Cardano seems to be reversing course right now after dropping steadily. Cardano looks like it's set to rise again, and to be specific, it is set to rise by 25 times this year. Proponents are bullish on its recovery and predict a massive breakout for the altcoin this year. In the previous year, Hoskinson shared some of Cardano's goals for 2022, most of which are mouth-watering, capable of spiking their price 25x. According to him, some of Cardano's key plans for this year include building institutions that support the project and launching a formal open source project structure. Next year, what's going to happen is that a formal open source project structure is going to be formed, kind of like Hyperledger to Linux. We are going to see many institutions wired in, and all the people currently working on it will be novated over, including me, he explains. Africa has always been part of Cardano's strategy, and this year the network looks to expand its footprints in the continent. With many African countries still lacking financial inclusion, Hoskinson revealed that the Cardano Foundation will build a financial operating system that will give Africans access to DeFi services. My goal for the second half of 2022 is to figure out how to put all these pieces together to get an end-to-end microfinance transaction on Cardano, so that a real person in Kenya, or somewhere with a blockchain-based identity and credit score, stablecoin on the other side, Cardano is the settlement rail. Peer-to-peer, person-to-person, click a button and the loan goes to them. They pay it back and then it goes to the other side, he says. Currently, the Cardano Foundation is making moves to revolutionize and bring balance and equality to the world, focusing on Africa. Reiterating Cardano's long-term goal, the founder noted that all the necessary equipment and tools it lacked back then would be available to achieve those goals. The year is yet not over. It remains to be seen whether Cardano will accomplish all of these plans and skyrocket to 25x, as Hoskinson claims. Also, Hoskinson's main focus for the year is to develop an extended UTXO smart contract model for smart contracts on Cardano. Cardano has supported smart contracts since the Alonso hard fork. He wants most of the development work on the new extended UTXO model to be done by October and is willing to spare no expense. Grayscale has increased its allocation for Cardano on its platform. It is now 32.33%, and the fact that the platform selected Cardano is an outstanding opportunity. What fueled this decision? It is the excitement surrounding the upcoming Vassal hard fork. During the past few days, Cardano has gained massive recognition due to anticipation for the hard fork, scheduled to launch on June 29th. Charles Hoskinson remains optimistic about his claim and refers to the Vassal hard fork as the major thing. Is he going all in for this hard fork? The thought of Cardano rise by 25x could be attributed to this upcoming project. But what are your thoughts about Hoskinson's claim? Let us have them in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to click the subscribe and bell buttons.